and play. Hi guys, so this is episode 2 to the legal thrillers era, I think I called it. And so basically I'm going to continue talking about legal thrillers. You can go watch my previous video, episode 1, if you want, or you can just join me here. I am going to continue talking about some legal thriller books, but also I'm going on a walk to the Inns of Courts. I don't really explain it that much in this video, so I figured I might as well use this chance to explain what the Inns of Courts are. So the Inns of Courts in the UK are like these, I don't know, like institutions. I don't know what the correct term for it is.
But basically all barristers, which are the lawyers in the UK that go to trial, like other talking ones, I believe.
Listen, I'm not a lawyer, okay?
I had no clue what I was talking about, and I still kind of don't. But here's a better explanation. The Inns of Courts, there are 4 of them in London, and they are historical institutions which have the power to elect barristers, basically because they are the only ones who are able to allow them to pass the bar, which qualifies them to be able to perform as lawyers in courts, because barristers are the ones who are mainly the ones who are able to perform in court. I don't know if perform is the right term. I still don't really know much about it, but hopefully that helps more than before.
If you want for more information, I would urge you to go and look online. But yeah, it's quite like an oldie-worldy thing. I do show you a lot of it, so buckle in. Hopefully you enjoy having a bit of a scenic route. And yeah, let's just get into reading some more legal thrillers. Hey guys, you are gonna hear music playing in the background because my dad's listening to some music, but I think it's some nice music, so hopefully it's giving ambiance in the background. I've started Death at Friars Inn, which is a novella, like it's a short book given to me by the author, and he gave it to me at the beginning of the year, and I haven't read it yet. So part of this video, a big motivation of this video, was for me to get around to reading this book. So I've started it. And obviously, even though it was given to me for free, like the ebook, I'm still giving it my honest thoughts. And in the first chapter, I saw a few problems. Okay, so as I was saying, you know, the legal thriller, crime especially, there are some stereotypes, and this book, I think, is definitely falling into that. Written by a man. It's just very, very apparent, and the reason why is because of the way that the female characters are written. So this is written from a man's perspective, but this is a man who has completed his degree, so he's at least 21, so I'm not even in the head of a teenage boy, right? But the way he talks about the fellow women in this courtroom in the first chapter, it's just like, really, it's a lot to me. It's a lot. And you know, personally, I struggle with that, and it's very objectifying. That is the problem. It's objectifying the females that are there. And a reason why I have a problem with that, especially in this legal thriller books, is because of how much that reflects real life, and how the women in the justice system, what they have to contend with. So it doesn't make me feel good when I'm reading that being reflected on the pages in this book. So for example, they're doing like a mock trial. That's how the first chapter starts. And I haven't even told you what the book's about. I'll get back to that. Let me tell you what the book's about. So far, I don't really know what the book's about. Let me be honest with you. The book has started out where it's these 2 men who have left, they've done their degree, and now they're doing a mock trial, right? And it's like a mock trial competition throughout England. This is the final, right? Which happens in real life. That's one thing that I'll say. This book is set in the UK, and I can feel that, like, a lot of the other books that I've read for this so far have been set in America. I say a lot. I think all of the ones that I've read for this so far have been set in America. And the legal system in America is very different, like very different to the legal system in the UK, which is, you know, part of the course. Like the legal system in every country is different. But yeah, it's very different. Like even the fact that you have to wear like the wigs and the gowns isn't something that they have to do in America. So, you know, seeing that representation even in the mock trial of the having to gown themselves was really refreshing, and seeing them talk about solicitors and barristers, and even just talking about the universities. Like for example, in the Chad book, he was talking about Stanford, and when I first came to talk to you about it, I was like, yeah, he went to some good college. You know, whereas when they're like, oh yeah, they're from Oxford, I'm like, okay, like immediately I know I know Oxford, do you know what I mean? So that's interesting. So as I said, they're doing this mock trial in the first chapter. The second chapter is they're gonna have a dinner after the mock trial, and then assumedly there's gonna be a death. Assumedly, because it's called Death at Friars Inn, and this whole court case thing is set at Friars Inn. So assumedly there's death. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're gonna be solving it, if they're gonna be like, what's happening. Couldn't tell you. So yeah, what I was saying about the females is this mock trial, right? And so you have the two guys and the one guy whose perspective this is written in, and they are versing these two women from Oxford. The way when this man sees the pair of women, immediately he objectifies them. There's two of them. One of them, he is mixed race, and he's immediately like, oh my god, she's stunning, she's beautiful. When she stands up to speak, the sun is shining down on her. Like, she's amazing. She smiles, even though she's like really smart and stuff. She's so professional, she's so smart, she's everything. Oh my god, like, no word of a lie, that's her entire presentation in the first chapter. And then the other one is literally called like, okay, yeah, oh, I forgot that there was this small, quiet, petite girl that they call Mouse. Yeah, oh yeah, well, do you know what I mean? And like, just really disparaging on Mouse, like she's nothing to look at basically. Whereas this other one, oh, she's the epitome of beauty. And it's just like very upsetting to see how women are so immediately objectified. Like, either you are beautiful and therefore you have something of worth, or you are not conventionally attractive to these people and immediately you are dismissed. Like, nobody cares what you have to say. So literally, because as I said, this is a mock trial, and in the mock trial it talks about, okay, so this beautiful girl, when she's talking, even the judges are like transfixed by her, but not because of what she's saying. They're transfixed by her beauty. You know, at one point he says like that one of the judges, you can tell he has more than the law on his mind. Like, you're like, do you know what I mean? This woman is here because she wants to further her career, and she's here doing this mock trial, and no one's taking her for the value of her brain, even though she's clearly very smart. And then the other girl, they're like, oh yeah, she just squeaked her way for it, and that's it. No, nobody cares. But when it comes down to the men, it's like, that's when you can see some more, you know, stuff. What I will say is I don't think there's much character depth for anyone. As I was saying for the women, like, very two-dimensional, and I would say that's the same for everyone, but that means the black characters are very two-dimensional as well. And then I'm just sat there like, really? That's all we get for them, that's all we get for him. But at the same time, I'm one chapter in, like, I have to give this book a bit of a break. Like, I will come back to you and I'll tell you what I feel. I mean, well, I've decided I'm going to go to the Inns of Courts. In the London walks, there's Inns of Court, which is, again, like, basically where this is set, where there's all the lawyers / barristers and stuff, and all the different courts and stuff. I don't even really know too much about it, to be honest with you. And at that point, I'll still try and read a UK crime book for then. Guys, I don't know what to do. Sorry, this is really terrible. It's like really dark. It's late at night. It's 1:45. But I don't know what to do. I started All Her Secrets and I couldn't do it. It wasn't good. Well, let me take that back instantaneously. I've taken that back strongly. It's not that it wasn't good. It's the fact that I read the first chapter and she makes a dumb decision. Dumb decision. Yeah, she makes a dumb decision in the first chapter. And then I clocked that it's called All Her Little Secrets. And I thought, I don't like... That is one of my anti-buzzwords. Like, I hate miscommunication and I hate lying and cheating and secrets. I do. So immediately I just could see me and this book weren't gonna vibe, and I was like, I could push myself through this book, but it's just gonna take me ages to read because I'm gonna be pushing myself through it, and B, it's just gonna be making me uncomfortable. Like, honestly, I hate lies. That's gonna sound like so weird, such a weird thing to say. Like, who likes lying? Sorry, my TV has changed image and that image is now brighter, so you can see more of me now. Who likes lying? But like me, it's a running joke in my family. Like, okay, can we confess this to everything? Like, without provocation, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Like, maybe it's a trauma related something. But for me, like, secrecy, lies, all of that, I find it very hard to deal with, which is why rom-coms, sometimes I can't
I would like to, it's just too much. It makes me cringe too much, like all of that sort of stuff. So for this book to be called All Her Little Secrets, it's just going to be keeping bare secrets. And it's just going to make me feel uncomfortable. And not only that, it's a dumb decision. Like, it's dumb. Like, what she did in the first chapter was just dumb. Like, it was just stupid. Like, it was just not making any sense. And here's the thing. I'm not discounting how, like, with trauma and stuff, you make dumb decisions. I'm not discounting that. But what I am saying is, I don't know if I could do it. I am reading the novella Death at Friars Inn alongside all of this, but I need an audiobook. So I decided I wanted a black legal thriller, but I'm just really struggling with that. Like, obviously I have All Her Little Secrets, which would have been good, but then I also have Stacey Abrams books, but I read her book, like, the blue one, Justice, Whilst Justice Sleeps, and I didn't get on with that. So to me, it would just seem like an injustice to read her in this vlog, because I'm likely not going to love it. And also, it's going to be difficult for me to get my hands on her book, especially the audio, because, again, she's American. So I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. Like, I can happily not read this Steve Kavanaugh, even though I've been talking about it this entire video, because, like, that's fine. It's Steve Kavanaugh. Like, he's a big enough author. Like, it's fine. I don't need that representation in my books. Even though I want it, I don't need it. Do you see what I'm saying? But whereas, like, I want a black author writing illegal thriller. So I don't know. I'll come back to you when I know some more. But I'm just letting you know that right now it's midnight and I don't even have a good audiobook to listen to for me to wind down. In fact, it's keeping me awake. That's why I just quickly come and say something, because it's keeping me awake. I can't rest until I figure out what I'm going to do. Guys, so today it's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life. That was completely the wrong order, but today it's a new day, and I actually need to stop talking because this video is going to be longer. I started putting together the clips for all of this legal thriller video, and it's lengthy. It's a chunky one. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. I'm here because I finally found the book that I'm going to read. So what I did was, I was like, no, there must be a legal thriller out there by a black author. Like, it's not making sense. What did I do? I was searching online for lists. I couldn't find a list that I wanted, which probably means there's a gap in the market. I need to do my research and then put it out there. So then I was like, okay. And then I went on to crime reads, and I broke it down into just the legal section of crime reads, like all of the articles that have been under that section. And then when I was there, I was going through the section until I found this book. I'll put it on the screen because I can't remember the name because I'm terrible with names. And it's the man the author, he's Afro-Latinx. So that's going to be the book that I read. And also I'm going to get it on Amazon as a Kindle plus Audible narration, because if you do it that way, then that's $4.99 and $3.99, which is £5 and £4, which is £9, which when you pay £8 for the Audible, it makes sense. It makes sense to have both the Audible and the thing for £9 instead of just the Audible for £8. If you get me, are you catching what I'm putting out? Are you catching what I'm throwing? Today I'm just chilling. I've started to watch a a legal drama called Eli Stone. It's old, but it has the guy from Elementary in it, and I love Elementary with all my heart. I rewatch it all the time. You know, I give myself a bit of a break and then I watch it again. Like, it's my comfort TV show for some reason. I mean, I love it. I love it so much. Elementary is like a Sherlock retelling, but if Sherlock was set in the modern day in New York. Yeah. And Watson is gender flipped. And she's Asian.
That's elementary for you. So yes, I started watching INNS. I'm on the first episode and I'm loving it. It's making me laugh. It is cracking me up. Let me tell you something. Where this actor goes, I shall follow. Because why is it cracking me up? Why is it cracking me up? I needed a new TV show to watch anyway, because I was watching The Blacklist, and like, if you watch all of my videos chronologically, you'll see that a second ago I was obsessed with The Blacklist, but then something happens to a certain character, and now I'm just like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do it, because he was what got me through the show. I purposefully said that pronoun so that if you've watched it, you know where I'm at. You know where I'm at. Yeah, I'm on the later seasons, and I'm just like, this isn't what I wanted. This isn't what I wanted. Like, anyway. So, me and The Blacklist, we've had to take a bit of a distant step from each other. I digress heavily because I also wanted to tell you that I finally got to the murder. I finally got to the death part at Death Up Fright is In. Now, I'm not loving it. I feel really bad because this author gave me this book, but like, I'm not loving it. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say. I'm just not loving it. Like, it's just not for me. It's really sitting at like a 2.25. So yeah, but I finally got to the murder, so we'll see what happens next. But because like the way this man is obsessed with the woman, it's like, are you 15 years old? Like, please, like, I don't understand having a crush, but like, it's just too much. Like, I don't need to be hearing about your dreams involving this girl. I'm really sorry. Where she's in her lacy underwear in your dreams. Like, that's not what I want to read when I come to a legal thriller. Just to spoil that little section for you, because I just feel like it's important to add context to what I'm talking about, because you're thinking, what's she going on? Like, what is she chatting about? That's what I'm chatting about. So anyway, I do want to interject here and say, unfortunately, I DNF'd this book. I feel really conflicted talking about this book, because it's like the author sent me their book, and I really want to encourage and support self-published and indie published authors. So, you know, I took this book and I wanted to read it, and so I read it in June. But it's taken me this long because I've been really conflicted about what to do about it. However, similarly to the last video, I think it would be doing everyone a disservice for me to shy away from how I truly felt. Also, I DNF'd it because of the fact that I just didn't want to talk negatively on it anymore. So yeah, I didn't finish it. I never got round to finishing it. Now, I would love the chance to read another book from this author, because authors grow, authors change, and maybe perhaps this isn't my favourite genre. As we can tell, I've had quite a few complaints about this genre so far. So perhaps if this author was to write in a different genre, I would get on with it a bit more. But yes, I did in fact DNF this book. Hey guys, I've got too much footage for this video. I don't know what to do. I've got too much footage. But what am I going to do? I'm going to keep filming, because that's what a good booktuber would do. She wouldn't stop just because of the... She would actually. Because how am I going to edit this? How am I going to upload for you? It's either going to be A, a very long vlog, or B, I don't know. Fuck if I know. But basically, I'm going on a walk for London. I don't know whether I should film it all now and put it into this video, or if I should post a separate video of me doing the Inns of Court. Now, I have to be honest, I'm not interested. I'm really, like, very, like, not interested in this. For what reason? Because, like, I just don't care. I'm going to be honest, like, okay, fine. Because I suppose how I explained it. So this is a walking London book, and they have, like, lots of different walks. And one of the walks is the Inns of Court, which is basically where the lawyers reside. And why am I not interested? I'm not interested because I'm like, okay, great. There are lawyers in that building. What, like, whoop-de-doo. I'm not trying to be horrible, but it's just like, it's like any other building to me. I'm like, okay. And there are businessmen in that building, like, do we really have to do a whole walk about it? Is that naive? Is that uncultured of me? I'm like, if I was really that interested, I would have become a lawyer. I would have done law. But I didn't. But for you guys, I'm going to do it. But what I will do is I'll have a look at the bookshops around there when I go. And that's exciting to me. So first we've got to get ourselves dressed. I don't know what the temperature's like today. Hey Siri, what's the weather like today?
Looks like it will be partly cloudy today.
It's 24 degrees and partly cloudy. So I need to dress warm, but not warm enough. I need to dress warm and yet cool because I'm going to be walking. I'll come back to you then, but yeah, we're going on a walk. We're going on a trip to our favourite rocket ship, zooming through the sky, little Einstein. This is the first time I've been able to like sit down and chat to you, but I'm enjoying it. Here I was cussing it out, but you know what, even though it's just like, yeah, it's just lawyers and stuff, I'm interested in buildings. So not interested, but like it's just a nice walk, like it's just nice, and I forget like sometimes when I'm doing it. So even though like Inns of Courts, like yeah, it's not the most interesting thing, I kind of like it. I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm about halfway through. This road feels very oldie worldy. I haven't read what it's about yet, but I shall. I'm very hot, very hot. I've been walking around with my fan. Like it's not even that hot, but I think, well, it is hot. It's nice and warm, like the sun is shining, hence the sunglasses. But like also, as well as it being like nice and warm, also I'm walking. Also ignore my spots, like freaking heck, for what reason? Anyway, let me go. I think this is lemongrass. It's gorgeous, whatever it is, it smells divine. Oh, now my fingers smell gorgeous. It smells very citrusy, is my answer. But it's beautiful here. That's definitely rosemary. Is this smelly or is it just a beautiful? But my hands already smell. Oh, I think it is a smelly, but I don't know what it is. And this is mint, right? Yep. Oh God, that mint. Oh my God, that mint is divine. Oh my God. Oh my God. Is this when I start planting an herb garden? So I finished my walk. It wasn't actually that long. I mean, I took like 2 hours because I did go into the museum, etc., etc. But actually, it wasn't that long of a walk in general, and I enjoyed it. Like, it was nice. It wasn't anything too like much, but it was nice. I'll give you my full thoughts later. But what all I'll say is, do I actually want to become a lawyer, or do I just want to work in one of the inns? Specifically, the one with the herb garden. Hey guys, ignore how I look. I've been walking. I had makeup on, but like I didn't have a lot of makeup on, and then I went walking, and then and it's hot outside. It's hot. I was sweating. I had to have a fan. And it doesn't help like when you're walking, when you're doing a walk. So it's like all sweated. So I've been sweaty, and then it's like dried, and then the makeup, and then the you know what I mean? So excuse how I look. But I'm just here to tell you that I'm like 22% of the way into With Prejudice. And it's interesting so far. I mean, I went into this looking for some diversity, and I would definitely say that this is the right book for me, because immediately, like, there's just so many times it's touching upon like these different racial dynamics going on in all different sorts of situations. Like, it's very aware of the racial dynamics at play, and like, you know, the microaggressions and all of that. And you know what I feel like? It feels like when you're walking through life, well, I don't know about other people, but for me, it feels like when I'm walking through life, and like there were just certain things that I'm like, yeah, that's happening, but you know, you wouldn't necessarily speak on all of them, you know, you just acknowledge it in your head. Whereas this book is like acknowledging all of those different ways that race is coming into life, which is why I'm like, it's having multiple conversations. So for example, conversations about a Latinx man being, so a Latino man being desirable outside of his sexual prowess, and outside of a sexual relationship, so him being valuable in terms of in a relationship, and for other people to know, which I think is actually a very important conversation with like the over sexualization of Latinx people, and all of that, and how that, like, the hypersexualization, there you go, and so how that plays into that dynamic. We've had moments of conversations in the courtroom, and so that's very interesting. I haven't even told you what this book is about. So this book is also very good for this vlog, because this is the most court time out of all of the different vlogs. So immediately you start the book and you're in the courtroom. And like, so far it's literally just been the courtroom, 22% of the way in. Like, obviously, yeah, it follows some of the characters outside of the courtroom, but it's just like it just starts in the courtroom. Like, it's the whole case, it's about the case, sorry, there you go. Like, it's just all following this one case sort of thing. So that's really good, because as I said, a lot of these others, they are legal thrillers, but usually they start before the case has gone to court, or like the court case ends, and then there's so much other stuff in it. So basically, it's like in the others, they're legal thrillers because it's following the lawyers, whereas this to me feels like a legal thriller because it's following a court case. Do you see what I'm saying? So I am really enjoying that. Although it was a bit disconcerting. I think I am used to following a main character, like, you know, a procedural almost. And so this felt a bit different. And so at first I was a little bit thrown. Like, I wasn't sure what to expect. Also, I don't know if they did it or not, because of the fact I'm just straight into the court case. Like, I don't really know much about the victim or the accused. You know, it's literally very much based off of the trial. I'm just watching the trial at the moment. I'm really enjoying it, actually. I'm not gonna lie, I am really enjoying it. So we'll see. It's not going on 5-star, but I just think that's because I'm a little bit unsettled. Like, I'm just not quite sure what to fully expect from it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just so different from the others. I mean, it is exactly what it says on the tin. It is a legal thriller, but it doesn't fall into the tropes of legal thrillers, which is a good thing, but like, just unexpected. And I think it's probably because right now it's very plot driven, and I would say I'm more of a character driven reader. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes for like crime books and stuff. yeah, but anyway, I am enjoying it. I've had a very tiring day today. I haven't been on a walk in a while, and it was hot, and this is the first time I'm like doing a walk in the heat like this, so it's just quite draining. So I am tired. But yeah, I am gonna listen to some more. I am still watching Eli Stone if you care. That's very humorous. Also, I love this actor. I'm gonna follow him everywhere because I love Elementary and I'm enjoying Eli Stone. There's only 2 seasons of it, which is upsetting, but I decided I was gonna watch it anyway. Yeah, I am enjoying it. It's humorous. It's a bit much sometimes. Like I get not too much, but like I do cringe sometimes at the muchness. But I am enjoying it, so exciting. Anyway, I'm gonna go and then I'll come back to you later. Hey guys, so I'm 51%. That's one thing about Kindle. It's gonna tell you exactly where you are and how long you've got left. I'm exactly 51% in with Prejudice. And like it's not bad. I don't want you to take that away from this. It's a good book. Have I told you what it's about? I'm pretty sure, but if not, it's basically just like following this one case and it's just following the prosecutors and each of the jury members. It doesn't have a main character. It's just like sort of kind of like This Is Us, but instead of This Is Us, there's no central character. It's just following each of the different people. And I think I need like a This Is Us. I think I need a continuing person that it revolves around in order for me to get on board 100%, because I'm really enjoying it. This is the most legal of the thrillers, and yet for some reason it's just not vibing with me. I'm 51% of the way through, as I said, but it's been days. It's been days since I've last spoken to you because it's just not gripping me, and I really want to DNF it, but I don't want to either because it's actually a really good book, but it's just not engaging. And I think that's the thing. Like when I picked up these legal thrillers, I picked them up because of their propulsiveness. Like I wanted them to be like, I was literally reading them so quick. They were so easy for me to digest, and now this is like broken the mold. This one is not easy for me to digest. And you know, it's kind of funny because there's nothing about the justice system that should be easy to digest. Like there's literally nothing about it that should be easy or simple. However, that often is like legal thrillers. Like it's not, it's like popcorn, like popcorn thrillers, it's just. So yeah, as I said, this is actually the most like artistic, I want to say. Like I really appreciate it. Now I would say artistic, but I don't want you to take that and think like, oh yeah, the writing is like super flowery. It's not super flowery writing, but again, that's not a convention of the genre, but as in just the topics that it delves into and the way it's handling it, like it's just very different. The intrigue that I have is not high though either. Like, do I want to know if the man did it? Yeah, but at the same time, I'm not sure if I'm ever going to find that out. Do you even know what the main case is? I've just told you it's about a case. Basically, the case is that you have this Cuban, I want to say he's Cuban, but I'm not 100% sure. Let me say this Latinx man who is on trial for killing this woman. However, obviously it's not that clear cut. Nothing's that simple, but that's the main case. It's like, did he or did he not kill this woman? But because it's like following the justice system so closely, I'm not sure I'm ever going to get a distinct answer for that. So I think that's another reason why my intrigue is just not that high, because I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to know if he did it, but like, am I ever going to know if he did it? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm 51% of the way through. It's been days. Like I've actually started another video. It was because I stalled on that other video that I was like, wait, I'm in the middle of this video, so I don't know what to do. Well, I do know what to do. The answer in life would be to DNF, because I am a liberal DNFer, but I don't want to DNF at this book. It's a good book. And if anything, do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of 12 Angry Men. I was waiting to give you this comparison, but I'm going to give it to you now. It reminds me of 12 Angry Men. And I'll go into why later, but it does. And so therefore, I love 12 Angry Men, so I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with it. I'm 75% of the way in now, and I stopped at 75% of the way in to come and talk to you, but that was a mistake. I should have continued going, because here's the thing. So from when I got off the phone with you, I got up, I went to season and marinate my chicken for tomorrow, and I came back. I disinfected the whole area. I came back, I lied down, everything was fine. And this whole time I was still listening to the book, and I was intrigued. I was still intrigued.
But the problem is I'm only intrigued. Sorry. The problem is I'm only intrigued when I'm watching it. When I'm listening, even. When I'm not listening, I don't care. I don't care. So I don't really know what to tell you. 75% of the way through. Again, I still don't really know what direction this is going to go. With Prejudice, I finished it. I don't know how to feel. I also started listening to a podcast with the author in it because personally I like listening to a podcast with the authors after I finish. It's become a bit of an obsession. The reason is because it sometimes gives me more of an insight into the book. Like only certain books I'll do it with, and this is definitely one of those books. This book has a bit of a literary twinge to it. Like I got to the end and I was like, do we ever find out? I don't know if you want to know. Like in the comments, if you want to know whether you find out the conclusion or not, like if that's really gonna affect your enjoyment, then like comment it down below and then I'll respond and be like you find out or you don't find out. But like the ending, it wasn't a bang. Like I feel like with thrillers or mysteries or stuff like that, you get to the end and there's like this big plot reveal. After the 75%, there was a sort of slotting things into place and things were kind of revealed. I was like, oh damn, like that's an interesting twist that I wasn't expecting. But like there wasn't a real bang moment. There wasn't a real flourish. Like there was, as I said, there was some like plot reveals and stuff, but it felt more like a whimper. Not a whimper, but it felt more like a sparkler as opposed to a firework. And so it is a little bit upmarket. I think I would recommend it to people who are coming from a more literary standpoint or want something more literary out of their legal thrillers. It's not as popcorn as I've mentioned before, but I did enjoy it. It did bring up some interesting things, and I liked it. It had like lots of little like offhand conversations. Like we'll just drop a little bit of like, it would just have like a little statement that's quite poignant and like kind of speaks to real life. It felt very realistic to the courts. But yeah, anyway, I enjoyed it. What would I rate it? I don't know. I think I have to sit with it. I actually think I want to rate it like a 3. Unfortunately, like I just don't think it's my kind of legal thriller, and I think also it's affected by my current mood. My current mood isn't in the mood for like super literary things. Like I'm not literary babe. I'm not a literary babe. Give me the commercial fiction. Okay guys, and that's it. She's done. She's finally finished, and that's all of the legal thrillers that I've read, I think, this entire year. Well, basically the majority of when I was going through a bit of a mood reading phase, and that mood was to read legal thrillers. And what do I think overall? I just don't think that this is my genre, and I think I need to leave this genre alone. I think I will be doing it a disservice if I continue to try and force myself to read this genre, because clearly I don't love it. I don't love it. Like I didn't really use or utilize star ratings as I was going through this. However, really and truthfully, you can kind of infer what I thought about it for the most part. However, I did get a series that I will continue to read, which is I can't remember, Erin McCabe, I think, series. I will continue to read that series, which is good. So, and I think that if there are any books or any synopsises for legal thrillers that really like scream out at me or shout out at me, I will pick them up. But overall, I think I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to be toxic and keep trying and failing with this genre, right? Or I should say subgenre. I keep saying genre, but it's more of a subgenre, really. I feel like it's time to do a bit of a conclusion because I've read loads of books. My most surprising book out of this, I think, would be Chadzaka. I wasn't expecting a religious fiction. That was a bit of a left field, out of nowhere thing for me. Most enjoyable, I think I'll give that to the Erin McCabe series. I really enjoyed that series. Most realistic, I will give that to Death at Friars Inn, actually. I think it follows a very realistic plot line. Everything in it happens in like there's nothing unrealistic. That could be a documentation of what really happened in Death at Friars Inn, even though it wasn't necessarily my favourite. So I will say that's the most realistic. Now, which one did I think did the law the best? That's really hard because I think they all did the law really well. Personally, I think I'm going to have to give that with Justice. Which book would I recommend out of all of this? I think I would recommend With Prejudice to literary
readers. I think I would recommend the Erin McCabe series as well. I think that's interesting. And I think I would also recommend Victor Methos, because I think that if you wanted a book, if you like me and like this sort of genre, I think that Victor Methos's books are very easy to fly through. That's what I thought. Very interesting. I don't know what subgenre to do next, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Because I think I read a lot of subgenres, and maybe the subgenres I don't read are because I won't necessarily get along with them the best. So am I going to do it a disservice by trying it out again? We shall see. I mean, I say that, but I did this with serial killer romances. I guess it's the same sort of concept. That was a subgenre that I tried out previously. You can have a look. It's only one video. It's a lot shorter than this one. So we'll see. I'm sure I'll do it again. The mood reader in me loves to just deep dive into a subgenre. Anyway, this video is long enough. I'm going to stop talking now, and I'll see you in the next one, which I believe is going to be all about Hunger Games. We love to see it. I'll see you then. Bye, guys. Peace and love, guys. I think it's really important for me to say this in this video because there was a lot of spicy takes in these 2 episodes. So remember, it's all peace and it's all love.